Hey guys, Frost here. Welcome back to a second installment of the Naxxramas Best in Slot, a series of videos where we take each and every class and try to figure out a strategy, a plan of action to gear up in Naxxramas. We all know that Naxxramas is not a walk in the park. Gearing up has a lot of competition, and we're trying to figure out which is the very best of the best items, and also we're going to try to figure out a plan of action so you can gear up your character quite nicely. On our previous installment, we covered the Hunter. Today, we're hopping on the Mage, which is my main right now, and it's the class that I'm going to play until the end of Classic. I'm going to try to achieve this gear myself, so without further ado, let's get right into it. Now, the Mage had a really great time in Classic so far. Now it's time to go for the big gear, the big numbers. So first and foremost, we're going to start with the helmet. The helmet is going to be the tier 3 Frostfire Circle. It has 2% crit, 35 spell power and 1% hit. Very huge. It's going to get you all the way to TBC. You're going to be able to level with this one, especially if you have the enchant on it. So all the way to level 70. Pretty good helmet. The second helmet is the Gem of Trapped Innocence from Kel'Thuzad. 2% crit, 15 spell power. If you already have the Amulet of Vecni Lash from Twin Emperors, I don't think this should be a priority. It's only slightly better, so don't focus first on this one. The Rime Covered Mantle, 39 spell power, 1% crit. It's going to be best in slot. Similar, if you have the enchant from Saffiran, you're gonna get it all the way to level 17 PBC, so this is a must take. Moving on, it's the Cloak of Necropolis from Saffiran. It has 1% crit, 1% hit, 26 spell power. It's best in slot. It's pretty great. If you already have like the cloak from Khotun, I would suggest postponing for a while and focusing on getting other items. It's not a major priority, however, it is an upgrade and it is best in slot. Number 5 actually, the Frostfire Robes. Very good stats here, 47 spell power. I think the tier 2.5 has like 39, so you already get like an 8 spell power upgrade. Hit, crit, and decreases the magical resist of your target. The Soul Harvester Bindings. Those come from Gothic the Harvester. They have 1% crit, 21 spell power, decent stats, stamina and intellect. You can enchant them with 7 intellect or 9 stamina based on preference if you min max or not. 9 intellect would be the way to go for damage. If you already have like the Rock Fury bracers or the bracers from Blackwing Glare, which have a 21 spell power, 1% hit, if you're not hit cap, it's not a priority. However, we're gonna get into this soon about managing your hit. In Naxxramas, mages are allowed to drop a lot of hit items from previous dungeons, and they change them for crit, and there goes, you can get up to a 30% crit chance unbuffed, which is going to be nutty. For gauntlets, the best in slot for the whole content are the ones from Khotun, Darkstorm gauntlets, and belt goes the same, Khotun Ice Stalk Waistguard. This is very good belt, 41 spell power. 1% crit, and similar to other items, this will go all the way to TBC. It's just crazy how many items for mages, so you can level all the way to level 70 with them. Leggings of Polarity from Thaddeus, which will give you 44 spell power, 2% crit. Pretty good legs. Crossfire Sandals for crit. We're gonna swap from tier 2.5 or from rank 14 gear to these ones once you have all the hit required for this, so bear with me here. Crossfire Ring, pretty beautiful ring. I really want this. It's like perfect itemization. Look, 10 intellect, 10 stamina, 30 spell power and 1% crit. I like this crit. In terms of second ring, it's the Ring of Eternal Flame, which has 34 spell power, firepower, keep that in mind, and 1% crit. Those two will be the best in slot rings for the whole content. Moving on to trinkets, I think the ones that I would like to use are the Restrained Essence of Saffiran, which has, like I said on our previous Hunter video, it has passive stats, which is 40 spell power, which is huge for me. I always love trinkets that have passive stats and also on-use effect. This one on-use effect has increases damage done by healing spells by 130 for 20 seconds on a 2-minute cooldown. Now, you should be able to use this on some Naxxramas fights here twice. Although, as a mage, you have to have in your arsenal a variety of trinkets, such as Mind Weakening Gem, such as well, Neltharion Steer, and so on. Neltharion Tier we're gonna keep for the whole Nax. I'm not gonna drop it down because this will allow us to equip more crit gear due to the fact that this one already has 2% hit, which is huge. You're gonna be able to get the hit capped way easier. So this is a perma thing that you're gonna keep here. You can replace the Restrained Essence of Saffiran with the Mark of Champion. Let's see if we can find it here. The one from Kel'Thuzad's Phylactery, which I recommend getting. I recommend everyone getting that one. Mark of Champion. The reason why I recommend getting this one, either if you're melee or is 85 85 passive spell power. So overall, if you get this on undead fights, you'll use this all the time. And now you already have like a collection of couple of trinkets, which is Mind Weakening Gem, you have the Essence of Saffiran, and you have the Mark of Champion. Mark of Champion, you take it to Burning Crusade because most of the mobs in Burning Crusade are demons, and this one increases the damage against undead and demons. It's gonna be really, really cool. In terms of wands, you have two options in Naxxramas. I think from Patchwork you get the wand which has 13 spell power and 1% hit. However, that's mostly reserved for warlocks, as warlocks have still a hard time to get hit capped. As for mages, this one would be easier to acquire because they don't rely on hit that much anymore. There's 1% crit, 16 spell power. It's really great. Now, in terms of weapons, there's two options. This is Atiesh. Well, if you can get Atiesh in your guild, I would recommend getting it. It's legendary. It's great. However, I don't think it's best in slot. It's gonna rob you of hit, and then you'll have to exchange some of those crit items to get more hit, such as maybe the Frostfire boots. You're gonna get tier 2.5 and so on. Ratblade with Saffiran's left eye give you 2% crit, 2% hit, and about 121 spell power. Decent stats as well, intellect and stamina. The point is that the best would be this setup, Ratblade with Saffiran left eye, and you should be in a party with someone having Atiesh. And then you'll get like the most benefit from this setup particularly. Now, if you follow this and you go for a basic fire spec, which I get mine, I do it like this. Maybe there's a better option. 13 points in Arcane. I get improved Arcane Explosion for trash. I get Arcane Concentration for clear casts. Fire, I go deep into fire. I get, of course, the Flame Throwing. I get, again, improved Flame Strike for trash. However, I think it could be neglected if you figure out a way to put those 2 points somewhere else. And I get almost everything else here. Of course, the 6% hit from Elemental Precision in Frost. If you figure out a way, let me know in the comments a better way to get the Fire Mage. I am struggling a bit with mana right now in Naxxramas as we're doing progression. I think if you find a way to get Arcane Meditation, might help. And I think it's possible to get. Maybe you take 2 points from Flame Strike and maybe... I don't know. This is the spec that I go for, and probably it's gonna be my spec until the end of Naxxramas. Other than that, this is really hard to acquire. Keep in mind you're competing with warlocks, with mages. If you have even if you have Shadow Priest in, I don't know, some of the items are really good for Shadow Priest. There are different ways you can sacrifice. Right now we're sitting on 16% hit, 10 from gear, and 6 from talents, which is the hit cap. And we have about unbuffed with this particular setup 29.53 crit, because we get 6% from fire, which is not shown here on the stats. So 6% with 23.53, it's 29.53 crit unbuffed. This is without oils, this is without Onyxia buff, this is without everything. This is like a beast of a setup for mages. Once you get this gear, you're gonna be able to pump those big numbers like no one else. Mage is going to be, if you catch a big ignite, the best DPS class in Classic. One of those Thaddeus fights, it's gonna be beautiful, beautiful. Now, let's say you don't have like the eye waist cord, you don't have like the Darkstorm gauntlets, you don't have the Rime covered mantle. You can here you can sacrifice one hit and go for let's go for Frostfire. Something more realistically, something more achievable, something so Frostfire, you just lose one hit here. We'll have to get it someone else, and if you don't have the eye waste card, you can go for Frostfire as well. Here you get the hit back and you sacrifice like a lot of spell power, like 12 spell power and 1 crit. So however, what you gain here is you get a 6% bonus for the set. The mage sets are not that great in my opinion. I guess the evocation cooldown is nice, 1 minute, but not really usable. The only one that seems viable, it's the 6 set piece bonus, which says the following: your damage spells have a chance to cause your target to take up to 200 increased damage from subsequent spells. So once this procs, your next fireball will probably do 200 more damage. But it says spells. I'm not sure if it's a timed. If anyone knows, please let me know in the comments. This is not like necessarily a guide. This is like a community effort to figure out what's best. I do my best to do the research and so on, but you guys have to help me too. Like what it's the proc from 6 piece bonus, like a timed one. You get like a 5-second proc, you get like a 10-second proc, or it's only one spell. How often does it proc? We still have to figure out those things, but if you can find a way to get hit capped and still have 6 bonus from Frostfire, I mean, I guess it should be worth testing. Now, those would be easier to acquire, like the belt and gloves, opposed if you don't have. I don't have, for example, right now the Kutun. So I'm actually giving thoughts on going for this first, and then eventually getting the Darkstorm gauntlets as well. Now, you could probably get the belt back here. Which one was it? No, it was Eye Stock. What? And change the covered mantle with Frostfire, and we're sacrificing here 1 crit. But now we lost 1 hit from here. We have to figure out how to get 1 hit from somewhere else. And that can be done by exchanging the Ring of Eternal Flame, but we lose another crit here. For the, if you already have, what's the name of it? The one from Khatun Head. Ring of the Fallen God. I already have this one. So there we go. We're hit capped again, but we did lose about 2% crit here. I guess if you're world buffed, this doesn't matter a lot. We lost about 1.9% crit, but we kept great spell power, and we managed to keep the 6 out of 9 Frostfire. This would be easier to acquire, as you won't have to spend DKP or to get items from the Trash Ring. You won't have to spend a lot for the gloves. You won't have to spend a lot for the Rime covered mantle. So a small sacrifice of 2 crit could be really good. The thing is that this would be easier to acquire. What was the name of the trinket again? Restrained Essence of Saffiran. So these are the stats. We are sitting on about 718 firepower unbuffed. Oh my god. And about 28 crit chance almost. I guess it's a personal choice, but I think this is it for the mage, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Let me know what class you want to see next, and until next time, stay frosty.